Stavros Tousios for M4Markets. Today we are going to analyze Dow Jones and also Euro against the Aussie. We are here looking at the Dow because we do see a significant divergence, I would say. Okay. And by significant, I mean just because of the fact that the follow-up after the rejection, which is also at the same time a channel top, has brought the RSI quite lower down below the 60. Now that suggests that, in a case that we go below 50 null, there would be higher chances to progress lower, if you see that as a progress, to the oversold territory on the RSI, which would probably bring us close to the 50%, around just below the 33K on the Dow Jones. Now, let's not forget that we have looked at this leg, okay, and it was somewhere around the 60% leg correction. And so far, this move is impulsive to the upside, okay, if we do another leg up without going below 33, like 25 or so. If we go below that swing high, then the chances of further downside are going to increase, because when we do have overlaps, let's not forget, then that would suggest actually that this is a correction, and we'll probably see further continuations to the downside. The 33.20 again comes into the spotlight. If we were to look at it as an impulse, which was going to have further continuation after a pullback that is going to keep us above the 33.25, then we should be looking for around the 33.40 making support. Okay. Now, when it comes to Euro Aussie and following the RBA as well, you know that this is actually looking a little bit pressured to the downside. Taking the full leg to the upside, we can assume that this is a correction or an impulse. It doesn't really matter, because at the moment in the medium term, what we do see is that we're very near at breaking below the channel low. The channel is obviously here. You have 4 points of contact. I mean, this is the fourth now, and it's where we are currently. That's why it's important that we have a revisit on that particular pair. 160, 30 or 40 or so is the level that currently keeps us still in an uptrend. We have no divergence over here, okay? But it's not necessarily that we get a divergence to turn. We've already turned without a divergence. What is more interesting is that we have convergence also on the RSI as of quite recently. This indicates that a breakdown would get us probably to the 38.2, which is also the previous bottom back from March. Okay, from there we should start looking again for different signals. Okay, maybe we're going to go down in a way that we're going to see like some sort of divergence. This is the idea actually, but given the fact that we haven't seen any divergence to the upside, it might just move without anything, any sort of signals from the momentum. But the ideal scenario would be to get a divergence over here, do a double top, bottom, bounce up to the channel bottom once again around 162 or so, and from there either go back within and continue the uptrend, or fall lower and potentially reach the 152.36 territory, which seems to be not far. Especially if we consider the 100, we're looking at the 38.2. Then if we're going to look at the 38.2, then that should come down here, and we can assume a correction, probably a lower correction, because the 100 brings us, maybe we're going to make it to the 50% only instead of just going lower down. But of course that will depend on where is this going to end, and how far the correction is going to get us to the upside. But one way or another, a very critical junction here for Euro Aussie, especially since 159.92 or so is a significant swing high that if we do break, then we can literally go all the way down to 62, because that is the zone that will be exposed once we tap into that territory.